So he might show up to the championship
He
game
might
and do
show
the
up.
promotion
He
there.
might
But
show up.
yeah, but I doubt it. There's other ways for him to promote the what you call it. They don't always have to use. They've been using
Hold
college
on a
football
second. Hold
lately.
on a second. I got to go in on this. I got to go in on this point because Bob Arum was saying as one of the reasons why they weren't doing the typical press conference was that so many millions of people would be watching those games that it only makes sense. It would cost millions and millions in advertising to get that kind of exposure. So what you're telling me is that Wilder blew millions and millions in terms of exposure by not turning up.
He didn't blow millions because Tyson was there to talk about it.
Hold on a second. He blew a multi-million opportunity to advertise the fight by not showing up.
No, I wouldn't say that because everybody that watched that game, they know who Deontay Wilder is.
Oh, they already know who he is, so he didn't have to be there.
Yeah, he did the what you call it last year.
So hold on.
For the game. This is not his first time. I mean, like if he goes what you call it. Well, if he would have went last week when they had the games, that wouldn't have been his first time at one of the college press conferences.
So
he's done that before.
Why did
Fury do it?
Why did Bob Arum talk about the opportunity, a multi-million-dollar opportunity?
Because Top Rank is just able to start sending their fighters to that. They wasn't doing that. He wasn't sending Terrence Crawford and none of the Lomachenko or none of his fighters to college football games. That's something new to him.
So
none of his fighters.
Ultimately, it's a multi-million-dollar opportunity blown.
No, I wouldn't. You really can't say that. It's not the same. It's not the same. First of all, Fury's not from the States, so for him, he's picking up new fans when he go to the fight. But Tyson ain't. Wilder won't be picking up new fans by going to the what you call it. People know who he is.
People know who he is, so he doesn't have to advertise the fight.
I'm not saying you don't have to advertise the fight, but it wasn't. It was a nice. It would have been a nice opportunity to do, but it's not the end of the world that he didn't go to that Clemson game.
How you see? I just have to say this: with such a multi-million-dollar opportunity for free,
All right, hold on. Let me make it easier, right? Say if they would have had the press conference in Wembley, right? Say if they would have had one of those, because they usually do on London, New York, LA. They usually do it like that, right? So if they would have went over there, right, and Wilder shows up and he talks to the people and all that, and Tyson doesn't go, it really wouldn't have been a big deal because everybody over there knows him.
You get what I'm saying? Okay, so let me just go a little bit deeper into this before we move on. Okay, so it was explained to me. It was explained to me some time ago by a guy I knew who studied some kind of business studies guy, and he pointed out to me that the biggest brands that you are aware of, they advertise. And he said to me, well, why do the biggest brands you know advertise? Because they're big already. Why do they advertise? And that's to make sure that they keep their brand out there, up there. Let people know they are preeminent. So even though your favorite coffee, if it's a big brand, even though they might be the biggest brand, they still advertise. They still spend that advertising pound, dollar, or euro to make sure they are seen out there, to make sure they get out there, to make sure they have product awareness. So any which way you cut it, YG, by Deontay, well, if he was sick, fair enough. But if he was not sick and he didn't turn up, he just blew a multi-million-dollar opportunity. If they had to pay for that advertising, it would be in the multiples of millions. And if he's sick, fine. But if he's not sick, he just blew a massive opportunity, YG.
I understand what you're saying, but I didn't even know that he was the sick thing. But I thought it was more of that whole the college football thing more than that. But I get what you say. I get that point.
Yeah, I mean, there's no two ways about it. You get free advertising at a major thing like that. It's major to you guys. We don't know about it, but it's major to you guys to blow off that opportunity, such a major opportunity. If he's sick, fair enough. If he's not, then that is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that then leads itself to the question: Is Deontay Wilder trying to stay away from Tyson Fury this time around? Did Tyson Fury soul get into his head that he doesn't want? He's trying to stay away. He's trying to keep the distance.
Nah.
Right?
I mean, but last time when they fought, most of Fury's like the work that when you say mentally he was getting in his head, he was mostly putting out videos without being near Wilder. Most of his best smack talk is when he went in the streets. He was in LA and he was going around, walking around, asking people, "Do you know who Wilder is? Do you know who Wilder is?" So most of his when he was really getting in his head, that was via video. Like the way it is right now, you don't have to actually see somebody to get under their skin. And I guess y'all being on the internet, y'all know that already. That a person could get under your skin without you even being in the same state as them.
Yeah, but when they were on stage together, Tyson Fury won those battles.
Yeah, but it wasn't like. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to get that in.
Carry on.
Look, in London, okay, Fury was the one that decided to get up and have a little body spar, and Wilder made a stupid mistake and he went along with it. But my thing is that I don't think Fury got into Wilder's head, okay, and the reason is because I saw Wilder smiling and laughing at Fury. It's very different with Klitschko, because Klitschko was holding it in and he was saying really subtle lines, like really really low key. Whereas Wilder, he kind of went with it, even though he's not used to it. Now he is. Now he's used to it because he's been through it. He's now used to it. The whole pushing and shoving. Look, they're pointing at each other and they're just touching each other's forehead or whatever. That happens all the time. But I was gonna say, let me get back to it. Sorry, I just lost train of thought. Continue.
Okay. John D. Lee.
Well, for me, that's a large part of Tyson's game. He gets in people's heads. I'm not sure he would have beaten Vladimir Klitschko if he hadn't got inside his head, because he didn't really throw anything. And as soon as Vlad realised there was nothing to worry about coming his way, he won the last 2 rounds. But Vlad likes to be in control, and you've got a giant of a man turning up at press conferences in Batman costumes. And I totally disagree with the watcher. I think, we saw Deontay smiling in all these situations in the build-up to the fight. But I don't think they were real smiles. I think they were fake. I think AJ would be mentally the worst for Tyson, because I don't think AJ would get involved.
I think AJ would kind of just stay quiet and he'd say,
he'd just let him talk his shit and just.
He'd be like, "What the f are you?" He'd be thinking in his head.
Talking about what is he?
Well, AJ already knows what Tyson's like because he's been having it for years and years and years and years.
AJ doesn't give a crap. He really doesn't.
He don't give a rat's ass.
No, whereas Deontay will get drawn into it.
He will. Americans are a little bit more sensitive.
I don't know about that.
You said that, not me. That's Australian.
I'm kidding. I'm just saying.
Let's not act like Brazil didn't make AJ get a little bit out of his pocket too.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
he did.
It happens to you, but like I said, he did. Like he made him go in there and start winging punches a little bit.